come in to me at the very end of it before cycle start. And I would probably give them different herbs every single time based on where they are in the cycle.
I was curious, how long do people sit with the needles then?
30 to 45 minutes. 28 minutes and 43 seconds is our traditional. Literally, that's what it says in our Nijing, which is one of our classical texts. But that's depending on your treatment style. Like some methods will ask that you have somebody rest for longer, and some people they kind of are going through a cycle of in this system. Some people translate it to chi. That's sort of a mistranslation, or like energy is mistranslation of really more oxygen. It's the actual translation to chi, but it takes that long for a cycle to get through the body. So that's what we're going for. So like I know when I started getting treatments, that would only last about 22 minutes. Be like, but I'm also like up there in line. So, and now I'm like, 45 minutes is great, you know. But a lot of that, we check on you, you come in, we do an assessment, you rest, we give you a bell, so that if you need anything or you're just, like some people wake up and they're like, I'm ready, you know, and that's, we'll take that as a sign of like, okay, well, things are moving differently than your system.
You mentioned cupping. Do you treat infertility with cupping?
Depends on the pattern, yeah. We do cupping, and then moxa also is another thing that we do. Moxa you'll get pretty frequently with fertility, and this is one form of it. I'll just pass this around too. And I need to grab that needle pack back before I. That is a moxa stick. It's the herb mugwort. So, yeah, it's pretty much Harry Potter. But thank you so much. Oh, sorry. It is warmed over certain points in the body to help circulate, to help nourish. It's another form of treatment. It's really soothing and really energizing. Like it kind of gives you that energy without giving you the caffeinated feel. The cupping, we do, especially kind of in what we call like liver qi stagnation patterns, where you've already got a lot of tension going on. That kind of thing can really help that muscle memory chill out. So it's another way to get to the acupuncture points, but it's also another way to treat you globally. Like, okay, like let's, you know how we hold a lot of tension in our body, even though the tension might have gone, we're still holding on to it. That's what the cupping will help a lot with. So we use glass cups or fire cupping in our practice. So basically I'm heating that with a cotton ball, and it doesn't get hot, but I'm heating it, pulling it out, putting it on the system. So some people use the plastic, it's just personal preference and what you can access in your office. Any other questions? I'm just going to talk a little bit about case studies, and I'm going to give you a little care. It smells very sagey, so if you ever walk into an acupuncturist office and you're like, what's going on in this office? Not so much. Like, we're not up to anything bad, I promise. So I wanted to just highlight just a very couple of cases. We have a lot. I didn't know how many times, you know, how long I've got stuff. And people asked a lot about success rates and things like that. Like I said, everyone's bio-individual, so we're working with that. But for example, would be a 35-year-old female, 5 years total of trying to get pregnant, 3 IUIs in the past, and then a break. And the Western diagnosis was the unexplained infertility. There was FSH, history of irregular periods. The only thing they could find on a chart was uterine blood flow was a little decreased. So my diagnosis then would have been for her would have been blood stagnation, liver blood immune deficiency, right? So we've got to nourish her system and help the uterine blood flow. So oftentimes you'll see what we use is E-stem on the needles. Into the needles and then do little clips. It's very much like TINS unit. So your fertility doctor might even say, hey, I want you to go get acupuncture with E-stem, and that is a direct way to increase the blood flow. So anyway, with her, our treatment plan she was coming in with the plan to do IVF, but hadn't done any retrievals yet or anything like that. So we were able to do 3 months before the retrieval. Also, just with her, it was in hopes that we didn't have to have her do the retrieval because we didn't have a diagnosis. She did have a successful retrieval. We found out that she had a lot of follicles, but there was some genetic stuff going on, so that was probably the explanation that she didn't have before and all the unexplained stuff. And then we did the 8 treatments before the transfer. She was out at CCR, so then she did her pre and post at CCR. And so it was a successful transfer in her first time, and she's got twins due next month. Yeah. Then I wanted to talk just the same thing, advanced maternal age, 22-year-old female, secondary fertility, or secondary infertility. She had a 2-year-old. She was still breastfeeding a little bit, hadn't had a cycle since her first birth. Oh, sorry. So we actually started treating her initially. She was concerned. There was a lot of pressure on her for her age, which society puts on you, and I always feel really badly about that. So we actually started treating her for a sports injury. She is a competitive runner. The only thing that they had found so far was the FSH was testing a little high. So we did 12 treatments total with her. She did do 6 close together due to the pain, also the sports injury, a few more later, and then due to her schedule, they weren't really able to try at the time, their traveling schedule, I should say, hers and his, and so we waited for a little while after 10 treatments, and then we just did 1 right before her next ovulation cycle, like when they were all set to go, and we were able, she also has a successful pregnancy. Just kind of a couple different examples of things and how that can really look different for it. And I also, I gave you some resources, and I'm happy to share these PDFs if you guys want them as well. But we do have a lot of research on IVF cycles, and so we're looking, there's 4 or 5 different studies, and we're looking at it anywhere from, I'm going to say the wrong number, but 15% to 30%, 35% increase in success when you're doing acupuncture versus only doing IVF. So I get all excited about it because we're like, we want you. All right, now you have to work. Everybody ready to shake? I know it's the end of your day. Okay. So, since we always have a little stress in our lives, right here on your wrist, right where that creates us, it's moving around the bone, the very short bone is right there. Right along next to that is what we call heart 7. It's fantastic for stress, anything like that. If you're just feeling a little worn out, just kind of rub on it. You can even dig in a little bit with your fingernail if you can handle it. So that's just a nice acupressure point for self-care. So just kind of think about doing that throughout the day. It's easily accessible. The other one that I really love, that's not really that easily accessible, it's on the foot. So I'll just take out my shoe. Get this on video, right? So basically, think between the first and the second digits. Take your shoes off and join me, otherwise I'll feel all awkward. And then right here at the end of the sole, right in the middle. Come back there. Usually it's a little tender. You go all the way up those tendons until you wouldn't be able to get anything in there, right? You're in those bones now. There's a little tiny tender spot there. Maybe just because I always run. Maybe it's mine's the only one that's sore. But usually you'll find a little soreness right there, or a little soft feeling. And then you can kind of press on the bottom and just squeeze your foot. So this is going to be, once again, great, like if you have a migraine or a headache or stress, and you can just press that, because it's going to help bring all of that that's kind of up here back down. I'm going to take some of the pressure off. I just like to give people a little bit of things that they can do on their own to kind of support. Did you guys speak up there, or do you want? Okay. I was like, does anybody want assistance? But none of us are touching feet. All right, I think. Yeah. So I'm happy to send any of these links to you guys or anything like that. Please let me know if you have any other questions. So.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I'm going to fill the room. I have information on our clinic up here, or a card if you guys want to email me with any questions or anything like that. Please come.
I personally read that Infertility Cure is a really good book.
It's a really good book.
If you want more information on this type of treatment, it's really good.
I think that it's always nice to get a second opinion on some of it, but I think that book is amazing, and she does a really good job of making something that's sort of foreign be a little bit clearer and easily accessible. And I like her diet recommendations and things like that. So it's a little bit, the diet's nice in Chinese medicine because it's not telling you to be paleo or to be vegetarian or this or that. Like, it's more about, well, okay, so if you've got liver T stagnation going on, or if you've got some damp buildup, like, here are some foods that can help support that instead of having to completely like change your lifestyle. Be like, well, if you're gonna do, my biggest thing, I see a lot of people doing a lot of smoothies, right? And if you're doing a lot of smoothies, think about that, it's cold. It's hard to digest. You know, it's great for you, but sometimes it can be really hard to digest. So add some ginger to it. Add some cinnamon if you like, you know, warm it up a little bit in the process of doing it. So little things like that can make big shifts, but not be super challenging to add one more thing to your calendar. So, well, thanks so much, guys. Please come up if you have any other questions. Thank you.
We're going to wrap up in